Hey, we're Sweet Little Machine, and we're here with Anti-Flag before we hit the Fireball Fueling the Fire tour in October. We've just got a few quick questions that we're going to hit them up, get to know them before we hit the road with them. In 3 words, sum up being in a band.
Oh, geez.
Fucked up day.
Yeah, I think that's great because an example of what it's like to be in a band on a fucked up day is the day that we're having today. So we were supposed to be here at 9 in the morning. We didn't arrive till 6 p.m. because at the Berlin airport they found an unexploded World War II bomb, and it shut the entire thing down for the entire day. So
Fucked up day.
typically you think, hey, we're just going to come, we're going to meet our friends, everything's going to be great. You'll have a fucked up day.
How smooth has the road been for you guys as advice to a younger band? How smooth has the road been being in a band, getting to where you are now?
I will tell you that the less smooth it is, the better for you.
I will just tell you to go back now.
There is some truth to that because you have to have internal conversations with yourself about being in a band in 2017 and why you're doing it and why you want to do it. If you don't absolutely love it, just figure something else out. Go find the thing that you love.
Yeah.
But if you do love it, which you seem to, as we've found from talking to you, then
then stick it out. And honestly, our friends in bands that have had smooth trajectories, those are the first ones to break up because as soon as it gets hard, they don't know how to handle when it's hard.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about Anti-Flag being a band for 20 years is that we will play a show to 20,000 people one day and then a show to 200 people the next day and then a show to 500 people the next day and then 50 people show up the next day. So that inconsistency to our lives keeps us permanently discomforted and therefore always able to adapt to any situation, such as a World War II bomb fucking up your day. Like you realize like, oh, well, we're going to get this done somehow. Yeah. We'll just make it work. So I would say
when the chips are down, just roll with it. You know?
We always find that in the worst situation you're in, like when you're on tour or something, ends up being the best story to tell in about 3 days' time when you're kind of past it all, and it's like.
I'll tell you what though, it's all attitude too. It's all just like, if you have expectations that things are gonna go a certain way, then that's when you're gonna be disappointed. Like I go into every day with pretty much no expectation other than the fact that I'm gonna make the best of whatever comes at me. I think that if you can have that attitude, you can do this for a really long time.
Yeah, and playing rock and roll music in 2017, you have to be and have to carry a large amount of optimism in your life because people, whether it's your mom and dad at the dinner table or whether it's folks at school or work or whatever, they're not going to understand. And so they're going to tell you, what are you doing? Go back to university, go to,
Get a real job.
Yeah, and on some level, they're probably right. But if you really give a damn about this, you're going to figure out how to make it work. Yeah, absolutely.
If you could go back in time and tell yourselves one thing, what would it be?
Oh man, that Saturday when you were 17, waiting at the bus stop, just wait an extra 15 minutes. It's gonna make all the difference.
What is that?
Yeah, you're gonna.
You need to know this.
You need to know.
That's all you need to know.
If I could go back in time, I would tell myself who would win the World Series and make a large bet on it.
No, Back to the Future too. You'd be Biff here.
The honest truth is that because we care about the planet and the people that live on the planet and all living things on the planet, I think I'd go back maybe less than a year ago, and I'd say, hey, Donald Trump's going to become elected. We should do something about that. I mean, granted, we were saying that, but I think I'd come back with some proof, maybe a newspaper, scare the shit out of everyone, and then change history for the better. Yeah.
Here, well said.
What do you think the best thing to do for a band to get noticed in today's industry is?
Yeah.
I just think that don't call it an industry and don't start a band to get noticed.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think if that's why people are starting bands, then they should just give up.
Yeah.
Because being in a band is too hard. And it's too hard to be noticed, you know? And that's to me, I think that's the worst motivation. And it's like we were talking about earlier. I think that, you know, we've met those bands that started a band to make it, to get noticed. And those bands almost always fail and very quickly because they're not doing it because they just love to play music. If you're not doing this because you love it, you're not going to last in it because it's too difficult of a lifestyle and it's too difficult of a journey, and you're not going to enjoy the journey. I mean, I think the one thing about our band is that we, even with the really, really hard times, there's something inherent in you where you actually kind of thrive and you look back and you appreciate that you went through that difficult journey. So I think that really matters, your motivation for why you're starting a band. I mean, start a band because you're excited about being in a garage with your friends playing music. And to me, I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and find your voice, you know, whether it's the theme or the message or the agenda that you're trying to push, you know, whether it's as simple as commonality and empathy, and or as complex as trying to paint the White House black like we are. You know, I think that you can find a story that you want to share and that you want to tell, and that will constantly differentiate you from folks that are just doing it because they want to make a buck or they want to get famous or they want to be on TV, you know.
Yeah, and then when you find that story, just go have a good time with it. Go enjoy the journey. You know? And I think that, to me, that's been the most important thing about playing music. It's something that whether we would play in front of, you know, thousands of people today, or we were just in our garage or basement by ourselves, I believe that we would be playing because first and foremost, we love to play.
Yeah.
Would you say that anything's changed since you started out?
Oh,
like,
yeah, your life changes.
But also, you know, just the technological advancements of how we share things. So those are tools, and you should use them. But at the same time, you should recognize that everyone's got them, and it's it's a pole of white noise. And I think that more than anything, your question was probably how do we differentiate ourselves from everything else that's happening in the world. And I think that honesty will always win, and truth will always win. So just be true and be honest, and people will connect with that.